The Gatton College of Business and Economics is located on the northern side of campus at the University of Kentucky. The building is a beautiful new building that was finished earlier this year. The Garden Plaza is located just outside of the building and is a large, open area with a poorly kept landscape and nowhere to really sit, which prevents human interaction with the area. When I first started spending time at the Garden Plaza, I only thought about my experience in the area, and all I could ever focus on was the landscape. How poorly maintained the landscape was, to be more specific. Since I've spent most of my time landscaping ever since I could work, that's the only thing I noticed. After interviewing a friend of mine who has never been to the Garden Plaza or Gatton, I realized that most people don't look at the landscape the way that I do, but rather they notice things like the simple function of the area. After interviewing Hussein, an international student here at the university, I started looking at how the Garden Plaza's layout affects the interaction with the space. What are your thoughts about this area?
I mean, it looks nice, but when you actually come into it, it's not really interesting because it's just like a closed hallway. You just walk. You have nothing to do over here. There's no chairs, no umbrellas, no shade. Like if there was sun or something. So they can make it way better.
Hussein describes the Garden Plaza as a space that is not interesting. In his mind, he sees it as a bland and boring hallway you would use simply to get from class to class. He sees no way to interact with the space other than just using it as a hallway. I then asked if he would spend time in the Garden Plaza, and he told me why he wouldn't.
Nope, not really. I told you because they have no place to sit, and there's nothing really that you can do. They can make it way better, I think. They can get some color chairs that they have all around the campus, and they can put some on the grass. It will be like a place where I would chill, but no, not really.
Hussein's biggest reason for not wanting to spend time at the Garden Plaza is because there's no seating. If he wanted to sit down and relax or do some homework, he wouldn't be able to simply because there is no actual seating in the Garden Plaza. He makes a mention to the colored lawn chairs that are spread out all over campus, which brings me to the question, why hasn't anyone brought those chairs to the Garden Plaza yet? The Garden Plaza would be a perfect location for the lawn chairs, and would be great for both students and staff to take a quick break and relax. Once asked if something as simple as having seating would draw Hussein to the Garden Plaza, he says he would spend more time there with his friends. In all the time I have spent at the Garden Plaza, I have never seen more than about 5 people walking through the plaza. And the people were using the Garden Plaza as a hallway, just as Hussein described it. Not once did I see a group of people stop to enjoy the space or to have a conversation in the space. The only reason the people were walking in the plaza was to get from one location to another, just like a hallway. If there had been seating, the people may have stopped to truly interact with the plaza. In the sound clip you just heard, all that was audible was wind. You couldn't hear people walking or talking like you do all over campus. The plaza was dead silent at about noon, just as classes were being let out and people were getting lunch. Even in the busiest times of the day, the Garden Plaza remains vacant. In the original plan for the Gatton building, the Garden Plaza did have seating. There were tables spread out in the Garden Plaza for students and staff to enjoy. To try and answer the question of why there is no seating in the Garden Plaza, I went to Randy Pratt, the Senior Director, Office of Development and Alumni Relations in the Gatton College of Business and Economics. He has been working on the expansion of the Gatton building for about 12 years now. He is basically the chief fundraiser for the expansion of the college. He says the Garden Plaza was the last part of the project. When I asked why in the sketches for the building there is seating, but in the actual space there is not any yet, his response made it clear about the goal to have seating in the future.
Yeah, the long-term plan is, and we're looking at this visual of what the artists rendering was, and this is how we really sold the space, was to have seating for students and staff and faculty to be able to use. Can you pause it for a second?
The interview was cut off for a few minutes due to a phone call, but when the phone call was over, we picked up right where we left off.
Yeah, so the artist renderings we used were really to be able to sell the space, which was, it's intended to be a space for students to use, faculty to use, staff. And you know, the idea is we've got food now in the atrium. We have two central access points into the Garden Plaza. And so with the seating, on good days, good weather days, the idea would be that people would get their food and head out to the Garden Plaza, be able to enjoy the space, enjoy the weather. And right now there's just no seating, so people are not really engaging with the space.
Randy says the goal is to eventually get seating in the Garden Plaza so that students and staff can enjoy and interact with the space, and to interact with each other. Randy makes a note of the fact that there is now food in the atrium of Gatton, and the easy access to the Garden Plaza from inside the atrium would make it perfect for students and staff alike to get their food and enjoy it outside in the beautiful Kentucky weather. Randy hopes to be able to get seating outside in the Garden Plaza so that students and staff could truly engage with the space just like it was intended to be. All in all, the Garden Plaza could be a perfect area for human interaction if just a few things were changed. For most people, the landscape wouldn't affect their interaction with this certain place, but not having somewhere to sit and relax drives people away. If the plan was to be followed through with, and the Garden Plaza did get seating for students and staff, the empty and boring hallway would become a wonderful place for human interaction, both with the space and with each other.